Developing reasoning skills and clear actions. Understand cause and effect. When is the sister's crying because I push her too hard, etc. Being able to understand that their actions have consequences. So to help them develop intellectually or allow their thought process to progress smoothly and to be able to grow as a child themselves in a way that they have a great mindset, is to always be reminded that each action has consequences and they have their own imagination of what the world is, but let us bring them to an imagination that allows them to bring them closer to God. Next one. What do you guys think the next one is? What do you think E stands for? Reese, well done. Yes. Emotional and socio development. So, it's the ability to understand the feelings of others and being able to control their own feelings and behavior. And it's how they get along with kids. So they build relationships with others. So emotional and socio development. So, junior kids. They start understanding feelings and consequences of their actions. I.e., my friend is sad and crying because I took their crane away. Or playing cooperatively and know how to share and wait for his turn. Queuing in lines for snacks, and etc. Let me remind you, everyone, that kids don't know what patience is unless you teach them how to be patient. So it's important that when it's playtime, that people have to take turns. People need to know when they're able to have a go. Otherwise, like I said previously, their views might become more self-centered and then they might end up being spoiled or selfish. And that's not what we want for our youngest ministry in CSC. So the next one is enjoy sharing their achievements, interests, and capabilities with other people. We went to the mall yesterday. I have a new toy today. Let's encourage kids. Let's motivate them that if they're going to achieve something, that is a good thing. Because if we remind them of how great their achievement is, they're likely to repeat that behavior again. Next one. Enjoy organizing games and taking on different roles, i.e., identifying themselves with behavior of their parents. Thank you. Or creating different characteristics during playtime, such as mommy, daddy, and etc. Next one, salamat tita, is enjoy being on their own occasionally and doing things independently. Junior kids are the most curious people in the world because that's when they'll discover that they don't need sometimes someone to help and guide them. They can do things on their own. So, i.e., Bobby likes to watch Bluey, whereas Ara likes to watch Hello Kitty. It's okay, Potita. So, it's being able to compromise and be able to let them share of how limited they can. Or for example, Bobby and Ara, whenever they're around me, they take turns to play Roblox on my phone because they know that's the only time that they can play Roblox because at home they can't play it. It's family time. So it's important that they're fully aware of they can do things independently without me. So, and they do not want to be disturbed, especially when they really like what they're doing, i.e. Roblox. I like watching YouTube Kids on the tablet. So junior kids, they know what they like and they also know what they don't like. We have to allow kids to be able to explore their preferences in order to be able to grow emotionally or react to and behave to other people. Because if we don't, how will they know that they like it if they don't try it? Next one, senior kids. They care greatly about relationships with peers, friendships, and crushes. Gives peers more importance than family, i.e., they tell stories to their friends rather than families. Bobby and Ara, they share a lot of stories about their family about their school life or when they get in trouble at school to me than their own mum and dad. Because they know that if they were to tell the mum and dad directly, they'll end up getting told off. Whereas with me, as a kid myself, I'm joking, I have more of an understanding of, well, I won't tell them off, but I'll also remind them that failing is the first attempt in learning. Like, kids have to be able to go through bad experience to be able to grow. So, reminding them that they can trust me, but also I have to be able to, they also need to know that I have to discipline them as well. So, and then they experienced feelings of insecurity and began to doubt self-concept and previous self-confidence. Low self-esteem may manifest, i.e. comparing themselves to other people. I'm not good at singing like my friend. Like I said, senior kids is right before the most entertaining era of our lives, teenagers. So, senior kids will have the opportunity to be surrounded by people or family that will then probably realize that there are things that they don't like about themselves or they don't like about certain people. So they learn to adapt to who they do like and do not like. And like I said, they begin to develop sustained friendships, i.e. being with constant friends in KOC family. So for both junior and senior kids, when they want to grow, when we want to show them how to grow, when we want to be able to help them emotionally and socially develop, sometimes you notice that kids stay with the people that they are closest to because it's for their own security, which we have to learn to accept and love. Next one is they get self-conscious and concerned about outward appearance. I need to use gel for my hair. Let's be reminded that kids are so beautiful. They are the youngest children of God. And we need to remind them that because they might not get told it a lot. Whereas nowadays, because we're more self-conscious, we are kind of dismissive. Oh yeah, Afari, you're so good, girl. Just like that. But kids just need as much affirmation as we do. And last one is mood swings. Because of puberty, i.e. they're happy at first, or so they don't feel like activity. Let me tell you, when kids are hungry, okay, they will tell you because they will not get close to you, they'll try to, they'll try to be really dismissive. Like Ara, when she's hungry, she's like, Atija, I don't want to kiss you. And Bobby's like, because she knows that I like my kisses upon my cheeks. Next one. Oh, sorry. Spoiler. What's the S, guys? What is it? I don't know. It is spiritual/moral development. So, physical, intellectual, emotional, socially, and then the last one is spiritual moral development. We have this thing that we have law to protect society, but you know what the greatest law is? Is God's words in the Bible. The law, the power that God gives us is the greatest, highest governing, is the highest governing authority in life. So, we need to be able to also recognize morally is the development in which children are able to develop attitude and behavior towards other people. So, positive and negative reinforcement. If you do something positive and the result of it is positive, kids are likely to repeat that behavior than do the other. Whereas negative, if you do something, oh, that was it. For example, if they do something and you tell them, no, that's bad, blah, 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 you're going to create a fear in them, and that's not what we want to create in our kids in Kids for Christ. So junior kids, start to understand that they have no choice to know what is good, i.e. throwing trash in the bin is good, throwing it anywhere is not good. Diba? We were talking about this earlier, Angel. Littering is not good. Next one. Show tendency to simply follow what is told and to avoid being reprimanded or to get a reward. I will behave during the activity because I don't want to be scolded. Next one is appear to be motivated by the presence of rewards and avoidance of punishment. I will listen to Kuya during the talk so that he'll say I'm very good. Are you listening to my talk? Next one. Learn positive and negative behavior from adults, i.e. they learn to tell a lie, or talk back, or bully. And then for senior kids, is they understand that being a person has so much to do with their relationships, while they care and receive care from others in their lives. Knowing that if they do good, knowing that if we do good, they will do good as well. Next one is recognize that rules and laws are organized into a system that has a higher and nobler purpose than just prohibitions. I.e., in an activity, I will walk instead of run so that I will not have an accident. The golden rule in our Catholic school in Taunton is treat others as the way you would like to be treated. And all of the kids that go there know that that's the golden rule because it is. We have to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. It's a commandment. Next one is follow the conventions of the rules, such as school rules, because that is what a good child does. I will follow it because that is what is right. So, how can we effectively deal with junior kids? So, first one is to is they need to be talked to and they need to be taught, read to, and listened to. So that we are able to create a conversation with them where they can tell stories, i.e. remembering their names or listening to their stories. Next, another one for junior kids is by giving them simple instructions. Next one is we ask them to repeat what they say. Repetition imprints memory into kids, especially the values to be learned. Next one is we involve and expose. More on activities such as team building activities, to help them interact with each other and to be able for them to enjoy as well. So it should be focused on dancing, moving around, and running on hands-on activities such as arts and crafts. And like I said, kids need compliments, so we need to affirm them of their good choices because it helps them want to do those good choices even more. But also, let's not constructively criticize kids because at the end of the day, they're also very sensitive. Let's lovingly correct them of their not good choices so that they don't have a fear against us, but also know that what they did is wrong. So, discipline. And next one is that leads me on to practice positive discipline. Not saying no immediately, but to explain them carefully instead of no running away. We just go, please walk carefully to avoid getting hurt. Next one. How can we effectively deal with senior kids? Let's be an inspiration, as a kid once before, that having God in our lives is so great. Let's give them opportunities to be able to explore and showcase their talents. In our youth camp, all of us learned about God's greatest, is it TT? Time, talent, and triple T's. Time, talent, treasure, right? So, let us be inspiration that when they become YSC, they recognize their time and talent and treasure is so important. So let us give kids that confidence. Next one is to always have encouraging attitude towards them for senior kids. They're about to enter the era of being a teenage. I'm saying this because as a teenager, I knew I was difficult to deal with. So let's not lead kids to that direction, but let them be able to encourage them that they are doing amazing in their own accomplishments. let us remind them that they have a support. We are their back system as their rock facilitator, and that they are our pride in our community. Next one is to serve as role models, because it plays a huge part in shaping their morality. They observe and imitate you, so they learn more through verbal stories. And as a result, by sharing God's words through the gospel or through any little good reinforcement, they can then share those ideas and advices to others. And lastly, is to respect their points of view. Kids have an imagination of their own, and it might be a bit wild, but the reason why kids think like that is because they are kids. They're still developing at the end of the day. And as a joke, when you reach 25, the frontal lobe just grows. Your memory becomes like a sieve. So it's important that for kids nowadays to always remember what's good for the Lord. What's are good things to be able to do for the Lord. So, does anyone remember the kids' anchor verse? The last part. Anyone? Ina?
For the kingdom of God belongs to such as these.
Well done, round of applause to Ina. So let us remember that these are all general characteristics of children for us to understand them. It does not mean that each kid should be this way, but we must remember that each child is unique. At the end of the day, we are all made in God's images, but God made us unique. Before we were formed in our mother's womb, He already created us to be the perfect way that He wanted us to be. So let's remind those kids of that the same. And each and every kid have a different response to God. For example, Ara likes to pray, whereas Bobby likes to read the Bible. So being able to compromise of how they like to develop a relationship with God. Next one, and it's to encourage them to walk closer to God with their families. It's very fortunate that majority of our parents, we are very blessed to have parents that share the same faith in us. And I can probably say this for the majority of us, because it helps us grow as a person, but also the relationship between yourselves and your parents and siblings, because God is at the center of it. And this is what we should encourage kids of the same. And then remember that kids have a special place in God's heart. And to be able to be one of those people to bring them closer to God is an achievement in itself. So let us remember that it's a special privilege that being close to them is being close to God. So, as I said earlier, many are called but few are chosen. But each and every one of you are being called to be a rock facilitator and to have this great privilege and opportunity to serve the youngest ministry in our community. And our task as rock facilitators is to remind them that by effectively sharing Christ to them, we are also bringing Christ closer to us. So, for that, may God be praised. And secondly, I've got discussion questions. Is that okay?
5 minutes.
It's fine? Right. Okay, and how many participants are here?
1, 2.
Okay, so I'm just gonna split you guys into group in different. I'm gonna give you a number. So like pies, I'm gonna split you into 4 teams. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So team 1 over here, team 2 over here, team 3 is where your Queen CJ is, and team 4 is where the CFCs are. So move your chairs. Team 4 is over there for the CSCs, my love. One is where Justin is, number 2 is where Fem is, number 3 is where Eno is, and number 4 is where Abigail is. So, between yourselves, I've got some questions for you guys to discuss. How long do we have, Bob, for the questions? Jan?
How long, Maya? 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. So 3 minutes each. So, the questions that you guys need to discuss are, share a significant or memorable experience with a kid. 2, do I see myself sharing Christ's joy to the kids? And 3, do I see myself encouraging kids to know the Lord? Fire away. Let's get you guys into a circle. Stand in a circle so everyone can see each other, but also they can discuss. Okay.
We got just groups 5 and 6 here. 5 and 6. Right, so why are we I don't go on this with And where? That's maybe sounds So you're around meeting team? Staying around in meeting Let's go. Do you want to stay there? Tony? Marianne's looking for you, Tony. Subtle, aren't you? Subtle. You're real subtle. You're real subtle. You just why waste time? Is it Van Gogh or Van Gogh?
Yes.
So is it like the real one or the portrait?
She's like, no, he was saying, how do you become an altar server? That's how you be nothing. Someone telling you about it. There must be all these like married. Why are you the It's almost existent. Tell them about it. Where he was like, just walk away. Just walk away. It's okay, that's all. I have it open like, do you read? I don't know, like, interesting. Do you like sci-fi?
You ever watch have you watched it stand up? It's like those two. Because basically it's like a guy gets sent to spot the same yes. Because it's like an Hail Mary. If you grow up in the you know how I feel.
It's anyone, so our father God.
Now they music is now they grew up with it. They grow up.
Five minutes, everyone.
I can't say my main passion when it comes to like
Sharing his carrying him.
It's not good.
I can't lie, people said that I was thinking of, so
No, I'm not putting this thing in
yeah, but what you know on training, I agree with you. Chelsea, and then Chelsea is good next, so like,
So guys, go to the detail. Within the next
Bring people together to discuss. Please help us listen to the next I'm more. Why look at me like that? I just feel like so cute.
You said from the KFC event, haven't you?
yeah, this is
Oh.
what is it? I don't even know.
Oh, those are KFC stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, like you Mars Richmond. I can see it. I can look his secret.
Mine is for unlimited rights. Unlimited rights.
I
Go.
Is that it? Like in church? Yeah. Like, yeah, in my arms.
No, you talk about everything. Yes. You just like the sauce.
No, I don't.
You won't be watching much because I'll be over by the time the train tries to land.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, grab it again.
All right, everyone. Can I ask all of you guys to come and sit back down? Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for those that had to cut their conversations short. Thank you.
He's helping you out.
Right. Is everyone still feeling awake? No? Okay. Right. To keep you guys energized, if you have a characteristic, stand up. If not, you sit down. You remain sitting. Okay? Everyone sit down? Everyone sit down who's okay. Asian. So, anyone who's wearing blue, stand up. And sit back down. Okay, we're gonna try and keep you guys awake. Anyone that's wearing black, stand up. And sit back down. Okay, anyone who's wearing white, stand up. Okay, sit back down. Anyone that has long hair, stand up. Sit back down. Okay. All of the poogies, stand up. Oh! Lahat kayo guwapo. Remember we're in God's image. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do it with it. All of the magandas, stand up. Yes, girls. Oh no, all of you guys are beautiful. Okay. Stand up if you're from Wales. Sit back down. Stand up if you're from Gloucester. Sit back down. Stand up if you're from Bristol. Sit back down. Okay, stand up if you're from Taunton. Well done. All right. Am I missing anyone? No, Gloucester, Bristol. Okay. Cool. Right. So that's the end of my talk. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Ate Jam, for our first session of today. So for our next talk, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, it's Tita. And so could Tita Carla and Tita Helen please come to the front. Everybody round of applause. Woo!
Good morning once again, Ate and Kuya, and the titos and titas who are here. So before anything else, I would like to honor everybody and thank you for being here for this gathering for our rock training. So I know you probably have different plans for today, but you chose to be here. So thank God and praise God for that. Okay, so being a rock facilitator, we need to know a little bit, or at least the overview of what is KFC. So that's KFC. CFC Kids for Christ, not Kentucky Fried Chicken. So what is KFC? So CFC Kids for Christ is one of the family ministries of the Couples for Christ, which started in 1993 in Manila, Philippines. So it was created for the sole purpose of evangelization of the kids through the family. So KFC is not an outreach of CFC. We are one of the family ministries of the Couples for Christ. We are not a daycare or a child-minding group that parents can leave their kids to attend to some activities. We are not a formal school of catechetical institution, but all our teaching materials are catechetical based. So they are aligned liturgically to the Catholic Church's calendar. So, as Ate Jam mentioned earlier, does anybody remember, not remember, but obviously we have the KFC anchor verse taken from Mark chapter 10, verse 13. So it says, "Let the children come to me, do not prevent them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these." So we are always guided by this anchor verse from Mark 10 to 14 in all our activities with the Kids for Christ ministry. Next slide. So with the KFC ministry, we also have our KFC vision. So our vision is guided by this statement. So sharing Christ's joy to the family and the world.